You are listening to the Postcast, presented by the Locked On Senators podcast, following a 4-1 win. I almost said 2-1, then I almost said 3-1. No, the Sens scored two empty net goals with time running out, both by Timmy Superstar, who's up to 20 points in his last 18 games. It's going to be a fun one tonight. I'm Ross Levitan. With me, as always, Brandon Piller, and recurring guest on the Postcast, friend of the show. It's at Laleem's Martian. Pilsy, take us through your emotions as this one unfolded.
That was a tidy piece of business up against the Detroit Red Wings. The Senators, they now fully own the Red Wings this season, thank God. And Tim Stützle looking great. And you love to see it from the boys after a 3-game losing streak. Good to get back in the W column here.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun one there, boys. Especially the end, right? Watching Timmy just accumulate points and balloon the stats a little bit. It's a lot of fun. We've been talking a lot about the 50-point watch. Well, now I think we're on the 20-goal watch.
Yes.
Are we ever? And not only that, so 5-2, 5-2, 4-1. So you're looking at 14-5 on aggregate between the three games. Now, I'm not going to go out and say that's the reason why I tweeted out from my account that the rebuilds aren't even close. It was more so because outside of the Red Wings top line, Bertuzzi scores a goal tonight. Nice play by Seider, although some Wings fans trying to tell us that was intentional. Banking it off the boards the way he did. He was shooting for the tip from Larkin, and he just missed it. Anyways, great play from Bertuzzi. Super quick, gets it upstairs. Great goal. That top line, very solid with Lucas Raymond, Bertuzzi, and Larkin. Beyond that, and Mo Seider, that team stinks. Top to bottom. There was not much there that worries me. And if there's a reason why they have a negative 70 goal differential, if not worse, right now this season. I just don't think it's that close. And not only that, the Sens are starting to play well. And when you look at going forward, because a lot of the talk, and rightfully so on this show as well, was about the rebuild and who's going forward the better team. No Shabbat, no Sanderson, no Shane Pinto in any of these three games. So that gives you a ton of confidence. But this one got underway with another Austin Watson opening goal. I feel like, so he's got 5 goals in his last 7 games. And I want to say 3 of them are game opening goals. At least 2. The one against the Rangers and the one here. I want to say he opened the scoring the last time they played in Detroit as well. So that would be at least 3. Pretty good stuff from a fourth liner. You're told to bring energy. No better energy than scoring goals.
Yeah, I love to see that from Austin Watson for sure. Yeah, I honestly thought that, especially at the beginning or the first half of the year, up until this stretch of him scoring a ton of goals, that he might, not be able to contribute offensively anymore. That crossed my mind. He only had 2 goals at that point of the year, but all of a sudden here he's kind of caught a little bit of fire. So it's good to see, especially considering he's under contract again next year, right? So. Want him to be able to contribute a little bit of secondary scoring, and he's been doing that lately.
Yeah, 100%. No, secondary scoring gets the game started, but it's the big dogs that really put this one to bed. How about the Drake Batherson tip on that Delzato shot, Martian? You clipped that one. Pretty unreal, eh?
Yeah, that was a sweet deflection. That was perfect, right? Right up top, Cheddar. Anytime you have a goalie, see a shot coming and it's coming low, and then all of a sudden you put it the complete opposite, top half of the net from the bottom half of the top half, he's already going down. It's pretty much game over from there. So yeah, that was a perfect deflection from Batherson.
Yeah, unbelievable. Nice to see him back in the lineup, eh, Pilsy?
Yeah, definitely. Michael Delzato didn't really earn himself out of the lineup, so it's good to see him back in there. But I will say, Mete, he was a spark plug out there. He was joining the rush a lot early. He was skating hard out there. That was a guy that looked like he was playing for his job, and I thought he actually had a decent game.
Yeah, I agree. I thought he was pretty solid. He was skating really well, which is obviously one of his major strengths. But yeah, he was great.
So milestone watch, we're all over that. Tim Stützle hits 30 assists. He gets the secondary assist on Drake Batherson's goal. Batherson's 15th of the season. Delzato with the shot that led to that. He gets an apple as well. It stayed 2-1 throughout the third period until 1:05 left. That's when Tim Stützle scored his first of 2 goals on the night. Rare that you score the first of 2 goals with 1 minute and 5 seconds left in the game, but that's what happened tonight with Tim Stützle. First, he gets his 16th assist from Nick Holden, where he makes a nice shimmy shake at the blue line. Really just taps it in. to the goal. And then the second one, get out the 8-iron and just whack one down the ice. He gets his second of the game. So great to see Tim Stützle, 3-point night. He's been so consistent with 6 straight games he's played in, getting at least and only 1 point actually in each of those. So to get a nice multi-point night, that's got to feel good for him. Before we get to our Send Central standouts, I will ask you the question here that at Bretsky23 is asking. Will Tim Stützle hit 60 points? Forget 50, Pilsy. We're up in the ante now.
Well, I mean, I'll stick to my strategy before, and no, I don't think Stützle's going to get to 60. There's no chance it's going to happen. So now we'll just watch him get multi-point nights for the rest of the season, which would be amazing. So, but for him to even get to 50 was something that at the start of the season, I was pretty iffy about. I think we said did we set the over under for him at like 47.5 or something? And I think I took the under on that one at the start of the season. And
I think we did, yeah.
And he ends up proving me wrong, which, hey, I'll gladly eat those words if it means the superstar is outperforming what I expected. So you'll love to see it from Timmy.
Especially when Lucas Raymond gets an assist on Detroit's only goal. And at the time, it was the only point between him and Timmy. Yep. And then Stützle storms back with 3 unanswered. Do you guys think... So who has the sunglasses and bike helmet right now? Is it still Norris?
Yeah, Norris. That was their last win.
I think he gave it away.
No, it was Montreal. It was in Montreal.
Oh, right, yes.
Who got it in Montreal?
It was one of the new guys, wasn't it?
Guys
it was Shogard.
No, he got it the last time in Detroit. So it'll be the same one. People they're gonna let us know here in the comments. It's not like we've seen one for a little while. Usually I keep those helmet ones up right here. Yeah. So wait, who's the Austin Watson in
yeah, we should know. Yeah,
100%. So there's Waddy with the sunglasses and bike helmet. Who's getting the bike helmet tonight, Pilsy?
I mean, I wanted to say Waddy, but I guess I've said the person that has the helmet will win it too many times this season. I've learned my lesson. You can't do that. So you gotta give it to Timmy. You got it.
You have to? Really? This is gonna be the first time for Timmy in a long time.
I think so. A multi-point effort. Maybe Forsberg would be my other guy, but it's between those two.
All right. Well, before you give your answer, Martian, I'm just going to read the reply. So far, 60 votes on our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, we got more than 60 people in here. So go have your say right now. Is it Anton Forsberg? 52% so far are wanting to give it to Anton Forsberg. 23% for Tim Stützle. 16% for Drake Batherson. And for all you math guys out there, that does not equal 100 because 8 have other as the winner here. I don't know. I didn't see other. Other wasn't very noticeable for me tonight, but Martian, who gets it for you?
I'm just trying to think the way that the players would think, because that's kind of how you have to do it with this helmet. You never really know which way it's going to go.
Yeah.
Martian's playing with his head, not his heart. I like it.
Yeah, I've kind of got 2 guys in mind right now. One's going to be my standout, so I'll save that one. But I think maybe Batherson might be the one to get it here. I feel like it's been a really long time for him since he's had it, right? I don't even has he had it before? I think he must have. But
he must have had it at least once. But yeah, he's missed a lot of the season, and they haven't passed it around much since he's got back.
Yeah, and that deflection was sweet. So
at Sens Monster,
his game-winning goal too, right?
At Sens Monster on Twitter has been following along here. So April 6th, yes. So he's been doing it every single game. I'm sure he won't mind. He interacts with us all the time. So I'm actually going to pull it up right now. He's got a helmet leaderboard. How hilarious is that?
I've seen that around. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so everyone go follow at Sens Monster on Twitter. That's him getting credit for this one. I'm just going to pull it up right here as we go see. So Josh Norris is the clubhouse leader right now. He's got 4, but one of them is the Gambrel element. That was from the 8-2 win in Florida. No, because Nick Holden got down. It's a different game, but it was the game where Josh Norris's helmet broke and he couldn't find one to fit his humongous head.
Yeah,
but then he scored wearing Dylan Gambrell's helmet, and it looked like it was a.
I don't see Batherson on there.
Yeah, so we're still looking for the first one. Seems like a good night for him.
Yeah, I think that would make sense. I think everybody kind of knows the fans want to hear what he has to say when he gets that thing on his head. So,
my God, that would be absolutely all time. Again, shout out at Sens Monster that's a great idea, having the leaderboard going up there. While we await the video, we'll probably have to talk about it in tomorrow's Locked On Senders, which is free and available wherever you download your podcast. Dylan saying the other and Tierney were just as noticeable tonight. Tierney, of course, healthy scratch. Victor Mete was thrown into the lineup. If you're just following along the next morning, Artem Zub, a late scratch in this one. And you guys want to hear something shocking? The penalty killing pair out there when Detroit scored its goal was Eric Brandstrom and Victor Mete. Not a whole lot of size to push guys out from around the net, albeit still a nice shot from Bertuzzi. Not like he was right in front of the net in that office. It was off to the side a little bit. Not quite Rockstar zone either, though, right in the middle of the mushy middle of that. But he took a jab at it, his first jab in his life, and was able to get it upstairs under the bar at that one. So, you know what? Credit where it's due. Detroit had a nice play there. Otherwise, I would say a pretty perfectly boring game for the Ottawa Senators. I thought Detroit probably had the better of the chances. Would that be fair to say? I feel like Anton Forsberg made a few glove saves that really stood out tonight.
Yeah, he was on fire with the glove on Tigers night for the Red Wings fans. So he definitely had his glove out, and that's what Forsberg does. Like, not often does he miss those and knock them down with his glove. He usually catches them. And then I thought Forsberg did a really good job too of being patient and like outwaiting players that were trying to go wide and wait for him to make the first move. He's able to stick with them the whole time, and he's confident. And then not only does he make the save, he doesn't allow a big juicy rebound when he's out of position either. Like, so for Forsberg to be a popular pick for the helmet, that's legit.
Yeah, he was doing a really good job controlling his rebounds tonight. It was definitely tough for the Detroit players to score. You know who's not going to have a hard time scoring later tonight is
who's that?
The guy from The Couple who was caught on camera making out.
Yeah, no kidding. What an awkward moment. Jesus.
Yeah. So John, for people who weren't able to catch the game tonight, John Abbott, great play-by-play guy. I actually really like.
Yeah, he's good.
Of course, get well soon. Gord Miller tested positive for COVID, so he's on the sidelines for a bit. And you just know Noodles is the best. He's got great chemistry with whoever's doing play-by-play. But I especially like John Abbott. And what's kind of cool is his dad was at the game, so they just wanted to show a little close-up as they do during a TV timeout, whatever it was. And next to him, it is full, like, how would you even describe that? Like bachelor fantasy
I would call it
suites?
Like softcore porn.
Yeah, softcore porn.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a legit makeout sesh. Yeah, it was pretty awkward. And then the camera guy is like, "Well, like we're talking about it. Like, where do I zoom in here?"
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it was all time awkward. But poor Mr. Abbott, and obviously they did a great job of playing off it on the broadcast. Just
you
calling him a chaperone and all of that. So fantastic stuff off the ice as well. I thought the broadcast was as good as it can be on TSN tonight, if you guys know what I mean. Maybe a segment or two missing, which addition by subtraction.
Mira, our good friend with Matty Persens, they took up the spotlight that normally would have been wasted. So It was great to see a good story there, and our good buddy Matty and his daughter get some more shine, because that you gotta love to see Brady Tkachuk interacting like that.
Just a great story. I made Rachel stop what she was doing to watch that story, and I don't think she cared at all. But I at least attempted to get her. It's a slow and steady grind. We're chipping away. Yeah, we're chipping away at that
Jets
one for
fan.
sure.
Yeah, that'll happen.
By the way, I'm in talks tomorrow. I'm going to have a conversation with Stanley's Bar at the Sensplex, and if we can get a good enough deal, that's where we're going to go for the pre-drink. So we're going to keep you updated on that situation as it all develops. We still have our Sens Central standouts to get to in this game, and we have a couple more topics we want to touch on as well after a 4-1 Senators victory, a stat padding night for Tim Stützle in particular and the Ottawa Senators as a whole. If you didn't hear, 20 points in Tim Stützle's last 18 games. The kid is feeling it. And you'll love to see it if you're an Ottawa Senators fan. Martian, let's let you kick off the Sens Central standouts tonight.
Thank you, Ross. This is a guy I'm not too worried about. I wouldn't, if you guys made me go third, it wouldn't have been a problem, because I have a feeling neither of you has this guy on your radar as a central standout. And
Gambrell. Remember you loved Gambrell for a little while?
Yeah, for like
in an 8-2 win, you gave him the Sens Central standout.
Hey, I'm a Gambrell guy too.
He scored the shorthanded goal.
He did. It's his only goal as a Senator.
I think it was a game winner too. It's not a big deal. But so
game winner in an 8-2 game. What's that equivalent to?
It's not Dylan Gambrell. Any other guesses?
All
right, I'll just tell you. It's Travis Hamonic, and
Whoa!
so he wasn't on my radar either when I was even doing my Senator stocks. I usually even go look at the box score and check things out, but it was on my second glance that I noticed his stat line tonight, and it's classic, right? When he's playing well, you don't really notice him, so
Yep.
that's perfect. So tonight, Travis Hamonic had 25 minutes on ice, so that's his high as a Senator, I believe.
Yep.
4 block shots, 3 hits, and 2 shots on goal. And he a few of those blocks look like they hurt. So I love a guy who's not afraid to take a little physical abuse for the good of the team. And when you have a defenseman, if you want to like bring it back to an older Sen, it's like Chris Phillips, right? Chris Phillips, when he was having a really good night, you barely noticed him, and that's kind of the way it is with Hamonic too. So I'm going to give him an easy standout here tonight.
60% expected goals when he was on the ice as well. So you don't hate to see that. And you just notice with him, it's simple, but it's so effective. He just hits everything that moves. And when he gets the puck at the blue line, he just turns his head, looks at the net and says, how can I shoot this for a best opportunity to either get a stick or a skate, have it hit something and try to deflect and make it difficult for the goalie. So I love it. And you can just tell he's so much more confident when he's got Del Zotto with him as well. Yep. So you know what? That altogether, I appreciate that. Travis Hamonic getting the first Sen Central standout in a 4-1 win.
You like that?
Billsy, who you got?
Huge. Well, I'll stick to the tougher side of the game, and I'll go with Austin Watson. I mean, this guy continues to show he's not just a guy that's going to go out there and block shots and throw hits and lose fights. He can score goals as well. So that's definitely a plus added to his game. 3 shots on goal, 2 hits, 2 blocks, and he played over 13 minutes. So for Austin Watson, he's a Michigan guy, right? So back in his old stomping grounds, he loves showing people that he's still got it and he's still playing in the NHL. He's got another year on his deal. So I'm happy that Watson's finishing off the season strong with some goals.
Yeah, not only that, gets the assist too, right? So multi-point night. Only Senator forward who was +3. Nick Holden was as well. Although, you know what? This was just defense by committee, I think, for the Ottawa Senators tonight. Brandstrom had a couple of good offensive pushes, but like you said, not only was this a game high for Travis Hamonic as a Senator, but it's got to be the first time that he's led all Sens defensemen in ice time, because Artem Zub is usually that guy on the right
Brandstrom.
side. Yeah, exactly. So, right, but on the right side.
Oh, on the right side, gotcha.
Yeah, so without him in the lineup,
Zub out,
he moves up and gets to play that, and then Holden played on the right side for parts of this game as well. But hey, that's awesome. And you know what? I like that as a standout too, Martian. I'm going to have to go.
Is that a Ross approved standout?
Yeah, 100%. I'm approving it so much. I want to hear you have another one, because I think we certainly have enough to go around the horn twice, because I'm leaving the 3-point guy on the table right now, because goalie friendly show. This wouldn't have been a 2-1 Senators lead to allow Timmy that opportunity if it wasn't for the high danger chances that Anton Forsberg was turning aside in this game. I thought he was fantastic, especially early on. Now, in terms of natural stat trick, they have the high danger scoring chances actually 13-3 for Ottawa in this game. But there were a few. Yeah, especially early in the game. That save on Zadina shot right into his glove. Yeah. That was a nice one. There was one in the second period too. I believe it was on Bertuzzi. It might have been on Larkin, actually. It's not on anyone past their top line, because they can't do absolutely anything out there. But I just thought he was calm. He was cool. He was not allowing rebounds to pop out. And he gets 24 saves, only allows the 1 goal, and really no chance on that. Like you're looking this way, and it's just a great bounce off the backboards, and a snooker shot goes in from Tyler Bertuzzi. So you know what? I got to go first with Anton Forsberg, and we won't go snake because it's too easy for me to just tap it in from there. So let's just ring around the rosy one more time. Martian, this one should be a nice, easy one, unless you want to stick with your guns and go off the board once again.
No, I don't. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna take Tim Stützle. It's an easy choice, and I love watching him play against Detroit, because they had the pick right after them. So surely they would have, if Ottawa made the right choice there at number 3. I'm still sticking to that. I think Lucas Raymond's a hell of a player, but in comparison, when you look at the impact on the game and the amount of time Stützle spent with the puck on his stick, and the cherry on top is just ending it with the 2 goals, because I think he did deserve some more offensive output from that game, just based on the way he was playing before he started potting those empty netters. So I love to see the evolution of Tim Stützle, and he, like you said earlier, Ross, he is super hot with 20 points in the last 18 games, and that's a 20-year-old who is like 20 years and 3 months old. So he's not even a man yet, right? Like once he starts filling out, he's going to be a scary player. So look out. I even young Tim Stützle is a standout.
Oh, he's unbelievable hockey player. Pilsy, what do you have?
I thought Colin White had a pretty good game, and Thomas Greiss made an amazing save, a lucky one. I think his stick just barely caught a piece of it. Connor Brown had a pass that went through everyone, and then White was all alone. Connor Brown was going behind the net, and he did the old backhand no-look pass, and everyone was shifting this way, and Colin White had a wide open net, but he hits it off Greiss's stick, and I thought he played well. He had a couple decent shots on net, 4 hits, and decent game for Colin White, so I'll use him as my second standout.
All right, I'll take the guy who scored the friggin' game-winning goal. How are we waiting this long to get to Drake Batherson? And DJ Smith is talking right now. The media said Drake lost over 10 pounds from the illness he had over the past week. So now there's no reason in my mind that he is not getting the helmet and shades, because the boys all realize what he's gone through over the past week to battle back and score a beauty, just a ramp deflection right upstairs, putting her in the top pocket, as they say, as he says. So I'm excited to hear what Drake's going to have to say at the end of this video that should be dropping momentarily. But man, the best players for the Senators, the players who you want to see going forward produce, came to do just that tonight. And that's without really getting much opportunity on the power play. Officially, they're 0 for 2, but one of those power plays was 4 seconds long at the end of a 4-on-4 situation. So all in all, I just think that the better team won. And how many times we've been able to see like the better team won, and that was the Ottawa Senators. So it feels good to say that for sure.
Yeah, it's the complete opposite of what we're used to when they're playing teams that are lower than them in the standings. Like, look at those 2 games against Arizona earlier in the season, right? It's like you're expecting them to win that game handily, and they're not able to. So it's good to see that they're able to finally do it against a weaker team.
Yeah, 100%. Pilsy, what else you got from this game?
It's nice to snap that losing streak. I think that's a big thing, because that was a tough one for the Sens. Like we talked about, they're not used to giving up big games like that game against the Rangers, and then they almost come back against the Jets, but not quite there. And they were riding the high of a 3-game win streak. So to get back on the right side of things, I think is a big boost. And Batherson getting back from that sickness is also good. Hopefully Zub doesn't have that same sickness, right? Holy man. 10 pounds in a couple days is pretty crazy. So didn't Thomas Chabot have a similar situation earlier this year where he said he lost a lot of weight? So that's some intense stomach flu, I guess. So great that he's back. And yeah, I'm with you guys. It's got to be a Batherson helmet night.
Yeah, it's got to. Great. That'll be a good one to wake up to. 100%. So it's going to be fun to see how this season finishes. Let's see. What do we have there? I'm looking up here. What's the comment?
Sorry, yeah, I wanted to point out the comment here from Will Scott about Darren Dreger reporting that it's possible that DJ Smith is in consideration for to coach Team Canada at the World Championships this year. So that's pretty nice for a guy like DJ. Awesome. But I wanted to kind of like maybe explain why he might be somebody who is being considered, because I think that part of that with a team like in those short tournaments, you don't really have a ton of time to establish like a real good system or anything like that. It's more about just getting the guys to gel and getting the morale up. And I think DJ's a great coach for that kind of thing. As with the he's been dealing with that like a low morale and trying to keep things high for whatever it's been 4 or 5 years now. So I think that he would be a kind of a good candidate for a short tournament like that, even though he doesn't have the greatest record as a head coach. I can see why he might be a good fit.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
agree.
Darren Dreger mentioned that among a number of names. I don't think he's on a 1, 2, 3 short list or
Right.
anything like that. But it is
No.
good that he's being considered for sure.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah. So all right, that sounds good. What else? We got anything else? We want to touch on the top 10 prospect list we
You got to
did
do your
today?
giveaway, Ross.
Oh, thanks, man.
Nice, Martian.
Martian, I want to pull this up. How would you alter the Senators' top 10 prospects with less than 25 games list that we put out today? If anyone's just listening, we have Jake Sanderson 1, Shane Pinto 2, Ridley Gregg 3, Lassie Thompson at 4, Tyler Boucher at 5, Philip Gustafson at 6, JBD at 7, Igor Sokolov at 8, Roby Jarventi at 9, and the K-Train Tyler Clevin at 10.
I honestly, I wouldn't change a whole lot. I think that there's two things that are kind of sticking out to me a little bit that I might change a little bit. And no, it's not move Tyler Boucher up. I'm looking
Definitely
at
Gus is an issue, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking at Gus in the middle there, and I think he probably belongs a little lower on this list. Just based on this season's performance, it's been a rough one for him. I think he took a bit of a dip in comparison to where he was at last year, and I don't know if they would take it back or not. But protecting him in the expansion draft was a bold move, and he's not exactly making them look super smart by doing that right now yet. But I think he obviously could because last year he looked great. And then the other one that I was looking at here is actually, I think Sokolov might be a little high for my liking, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would put him maybe more in that honorable. Yeah, especially because most of the guys on this list are younger than him too, right? He's like a little bit older, right? Because is he 21 or 22?
21.
Yeah, so he's a little bit more on the older side. I guess maybe that's not entirely true, but I would probably bump him down a couple, and I think maybe Ostapchuk might be a better player than we think he is too. I think he's
been hot lately.
He's a sleeper for sure. But again, yeah, I wouldn't change too much there. I think Igor's probably in a good spot. I'm not gonna fight you guys over it.
Yeah, one of the things Pilsy and I were arguing big time against, and we didn't want to put two goalies on the list, but I probably would just flip Sogard it right in for Gustafson. That's just me. But
yeah, I mean, then I think that's even too high for Sogard too. But and then Jarventi's the other one, right? He's kind of underrated, I feel like too. You saw him in person, Ross. You talked about how big he is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's kind of underrated, and he's still got that baby face, and he's young, very young as well, right? Did he turn 20 yet? Maybe not. I think
Jarventi, I think he's 20 now.
Yeah, so he's just a young guy too, right? So he
turns 20 in August.
Okay, so he's still 19 doing that. So that's pretty great. But yeah, so I think him and Sokolov are kind of interchangeable there.
Yeah, 100%.
I love how Clevin made the cut too. We got
of course he did.
Love to the K-Train.
Oh, absolutely. Some people ask why JBD's down at 7. For me, it's just there's no wow factor to him. I think all the guys above him have that quality that you're like, oh, damn. Whereas for him, I think he's going to be a solid NHL player. But beyond that, I think there's just guys with higher upside that you'd want to have before him.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't have that one thing that I think maybe it's this hockey IQ is that thing, which isn't something you can really notice unless you're somebody who's an avid hockey fan who kind of knows everything that's happening. But yeah, the other guys, anybody who's not a everyday hockey fan could just, jump into a game and watch a game, and then they'd be able to notice certain things about each of these guys, right? Like Jake Sanderson would be his skating, Shane Pinto, a great face-off guy and just a smart, good centerman, and he's super handsome. And then Ridley Gregg running around like a maniac, Lassie with the tom bomb in the back end, Boucher's just laying guys out. So they all kind of have their own little skill set.
Yeah,
but I think they all have multiple tools too. So
yeah, 100%. I'd love to see Ben Roger find his way onto this list eventually.
At least find his way onto honorable mentions. Yeah.
2nd round pick. Come on. What a joke that was. Anyways, not only that, good to see it. So what we did, the only guy who came off of this list, we changed up the order. The only guy who came off of this list from when we did it at the start of the year, Martian, was Levi Marilainen. Because although he's stacking up wins in Kingston, the save percentage hasn't quite been there. I think it's going to be an interesting playoffs for him and beyond. He's still getting used to it, I guess, but at the same time, I just thought, Ostapchuk with 10 points his last 10 games. I believe he has 7 goals in his last 10 games. So I thought it was kind of worthy to have him up there. And I mean, we had 3 goalies on it last time, but Pilsy, walk us through that decision a little bit more. And you know what? After that, Martian, I got a question for you because lots of people are giving us shit for not having Max Gannett in here either.
Yeah, fair. I mean, with Gus, for me, it's just he hasn't had a consistent season. Like, he's been bouncing around from different leagues. He even spent time in the East Coast League for a while. He's been a victim of the Ottawa Senators goaltending injury woes, and he's been used as a bench warmer for a while. And then he goes down to the AHL, and he's now playing like 6 games in like 10 nights when he's been sitting cold for months. So I just feel like we haven't really gotten to see him in a good situation. And we saw him play a 9-game stretch where he was literally one of the best goalies in the league in that stretch last season. And I think if he had a little more consistency, he's going to show better things. And he's still got time here. I think for me, I think Sogard might eventually pass him. But right now I have Gus ahead of Sogard.
All right, time will tell. We're going to do that in a off-season episode. We're going to go big picture. Who is the goalie of the future for the Ottawa Senators? Is it Sogard? Is it Gus? Is it maybe Marilainen? Or is it someone who's not even in the system yet? And is that one reason why Wings fans can look at the Sens and be like, no, we have our goalie of the future, and you don't, because they used a first-round pick to select Sebastian Cossa after the Senators decided to pass on him and go with Tyler Boucher, who is finishing up his regular season this weekend, and then it's playoffs for the 67s. If the timing works out, we're getting boots on the ground, us 3.
We call it Boosh on the ground.
Oh, okay, thanks. I should have talked to my my Boosh lieutenant before making any statements here as well. Dylan, if you're still in the chat, Dylan, I haven't seen you comment in a little while. Dylan is at Fighting Stützle on Twitter. He's an absolute gem. He's hooking us up with these cards to give away. And tonight we are giving away a Bobby Ryan autograph card. Of course, timely when he played for Detroit last year and the Ottawa Senators for the 8 years before that. So if Dylan is still in the chat, Dylan, I need a winner. Otherwise, you're going to put some more stress on me and I'll have to go back and do what I did the other night of just scrolling, and you'll have to tell me to stop. But if Dylan is in the chat, we'd like to hear the winner right there. Let's answer a couple questions here for a minute or two while Dylan gets back to us. And if he doesn't, we'll give it like 2 minutes. Then we'll regroup and we'll find out who the winner is through me, which is going to be very, very stressful. Steve Sweeney asking why we have Igor ahead of JBD. Martian, I'll let you take that one. I guess if you want to, because Pilsy and I made the list. But if you'd like to defend our list for us, please feel free.
I think the reasoning there is Igor's like a very solid established AHL player, whereas I think JBD is kind of still catching up to things, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's probably why you guys went the way you did. I think there's a lot of growing that JBD still has to do at the AHL level before he's like ready to step into the NHL, where Igor's probably got a little bit less so of that because his shot is already an NHL shot and he's able to score pretty much at any level. Even though he hasn't scored in the NHL quite yet. But I think that's probably the reasoning. I think that just in terms of who's closer to making the jump, Igor's closer.
Pilsy?
Did we have Igor ahead of JBD?
I think
you throw that up again, Ross? I don't think we did.
No,
we did. I think JBD was 7.
Okay.
There you go. You know what? That was a test, Martian. You half passed because I think you knew, but you were being too nice. So you actually just.
Well, I almost called it out.
He gave a good devil's advocate explanation.
Oh my god! Yeah. So thanks for playing devil's advocate, Martian, because Pilsy and I both had Igor ahead of JBD ahead of Igor. Now I'm in my mental pretzel as well.
It made you question your own list.
I think he was asking if that's a possibility to switch those. And Martian proved his point. So there you go.
100%. Let's get a little love for Max Gannett. Can you talk about how, as a 21-year-old, that's pretty impressive what he's been doing in Belleville, although he has been a healthy scratch in a few of the last games?
That's tough. I'm just looking up his game logs here.
Well, I've been seeing his goals in the queue, and he's just been lighting it up, right?
Yeah, it's actually been ridiculous. That was
But
from last
again,
year.
I mean, you mentioned, Levi Marilinen and his, like, he's letting in a good amount of goals. His like goals against average is terrible. But like that's kind of what junior hockey's like, right? Like you never really know with the goaltenders, and I think especially in the queue, goal scoring is abundant. So, but it doesn't. I'm not taking anything away from his ability to put the puck in the back of the net, because he just seems like he's a natural shooter who's going to be able to score on most goalies anyways. But yeah, like I almost wanted to jump in and defend Marilina a little bit there, because when it comes to like the difficult saves, he makes a lot of them. But like there's tons of open plays when it comes to junior hockey, and like some of them are just unstoppable, right? Like there's a lot of odd man rushes and things like that, and that's probably where he's getting scored on the most. But like you look at his breakaways and shootout stops, one-on-one and stuff like that, he's pretty strong, I think. So
Yeah, 100%. Pills?
Yeah, I mean, Matt Kenskin, he's someone that kind of a diamond in the rough find for the Sens. Like, it's crazy to think he was a 2019 7th round pick, 187th overall. So we're definitely hoping that turns out to be a solid pick later on.
9 games left in the season. Tim Stützle has 47 points on the year. Now, this one might be, we're talking about milestones and how hard it is to catch, blah, blah, blah. Tim Stützle has 47 points. Lucas Raymond has 55. Is there a world where he can catch Lucas Raymond, who was so far ahead of him earlier in the year? Can he do it, Martian? Tell me he can.
you're looking at the wrong guy to give you doubt, Ross.
Yeah.
You
Not
put an
happening,
idea like
Ross.
that. Yeah, you put an idea like that in my head, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that seems like it could happen for sure. I hadn't thought about it until you just brought it up, and now that you've brought it up, I'm looking at it. And now it's yes, I think
Now
it
it's
will.
game.
I think it will happen. Yeah, I think that Detroit is. We just saw it tonight. They're not a great team, and they have a hard time scoring in general. So there's not going to be a lot of points to be had for old Lucas Raymond. And I think Timmy is his stick is on fire right now. And hopefully the Zub comes back and the Sens get a little bit more healthy, and then I think they're clicking at a pretty decent decent rate right now. So. Yes, I think he could catch him. What do you think? Like, okay, so do you think Raymond gets 5 more points? And
Yeah, I think 60 is the number to beat. And that's a lot. That would
that's
mean
a lot. That's a big thing.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he'd need like 13 points in the last 9 games.
He's playing with Drake Batherson, though, so anything is possible. I mean, he's coming off a 3-point night.
Yeah, 100%. Oh,
Yeah.
people are saying Timmy's got it. Is it the helmet? Do we have the video already? Or maybe I'm ahead of myself.
No, I think they're just saying that he's got the.
He's going to get the record, yeah, or he's going to pass.
This is what I get for trying to multitask. How many points for Lafreniere? That's another question here in the chat. I feel like he's what?
It doesn't have.
You're just bouncing all over the place. That's all.
Oh, I thought you guys like just said it or something. I've been there before.
Yeah.
Lucas Ray, or sorry, Alexi Lafreniere has 25 points, 15 goals on the season as well. So, you know what? Away she goes. Oh, here's a hot take from Ethan. Hot take: Stützle finishes the season with 122 points. That would be a strong finish. That's probably a sign that we should get out of here if we're gonna say that. How many points, math guy? How many points would he need for that? I'm not even gonna try.
Oh, I can't even try that.
A lot of points. But we're gonna do a full tank watch on tomorrow's Locked On Senators, an update from around 14 games in the NHL, a lot of them with tanking implications. And again, we're not tanking, but we're also starting to embrace watching other teams and how they're going here in the final 10 games. But how we will finish off the postcast is Craig Anderson beating the Toronto Maple Leafs, a tale as old as time. I'm convinced that this Buffalo Sabres team right now, if Craig Anderson was in goal, would probably beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in a playoff series.
I'm with you. Usually I'm the doubter, but I'm going with you. Like I watched that outdoor game and it was embarrassing for the Leafs. And now
I forgot they lost that one. They also lost 5-1 in Buffalo a few weeks ago as well, or in Toronto.
Yeah, it's been bad, that whole rivalry. So yeah, Craig Anderson would have their number for sure.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing, Martian?
So good.
I mean, it can't happen, but if it's Tampa or whoever it is, I just need them to lose in the first round. But the fact that they just can't beat the Buffalo Sabres to me is a bit of a mind bender. But whatever, way she goes. What did Owen Power +2? Almost played 20 minutes in his
I was
debut.
curious. I was
Solid.
gonna see. Yeah, I wonder how he looked. I'm sure he looked great.
Yeah, no points, -2 for Austin Matthews. I don't know if he went head-to-head against the rookie. I doubt it. But if he went head-to-head with Dahlin, goal and assist for Dahlin as well. So, you know what? The Sabres just ran him out of the building. What?
Beniers' first career point, too.
There you go. Yeah, it's that time of year, right? It's just so unfortunate. Jake Sanderson stuck sitting on the sidelines watching.
Yeah, it is.
Well, even without Jake Sanderson, without Thomas Chabot, and without Shane Pinto, the Ottawa Senators 14-5 on aggregate beat the Detroit Red Wings. Oh, I wish they got to play this team more often. Very, very fun.
Yeah.
An easy 2 points. Great night to be an Ottawa Senators fan. And good times are rolling through because this Saturday upcoming, they've got the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Saturday afterwards, it is the Montreal Canadiens. We will have boots on the ground for that one. Buy your tickets through our link tree. We're not getting any of the proceeds of that. We just want to create the atmosphere. Got a little group price discount, so why not get your tickets in $319, $320 through the link on our link tree channel, and stay tuned for an official pregame meetup spot beforehand. For tonight, though, we say goodbye. For at Brandon Pillar 1 and at Laleem's Martian, I'm Ross Levitan. This has been the Postcast following a 4-1 Ottawa Senators victory. You'll stay tuned tomorrow for Locked On Senators when we have the answer for the winner of the helmet and bike glasses. We'll also tweet that out on Twitter. Go follow us there at Sen Central, and on Instagram, LockedOn.Senators. Have a great night, Sens.